Get out the insurance cards, get out the copays. The office is open, my friends. Brought to you by drroto.com.
Hey there, everybody, it's Dr. Roto. Get out the insurance cards, get out the copay. The office is open, my friends. It's time for the first look. We do it every week. Last week, we had an honored guest, as Established the Run would say. We had Trevor Hillstrom filling in for Alisha Hunt, but Alicia's back with us. Alisha, we missed you last week. So many games, I didn't even know what to do. Now we're back to bye weeks and a 10-game slate, so I don't know. You happy about that, or did you like the bigger slate?
Obviously it makes it a little bit easier to choose when you have less people to choose from, but it can be a little bit overwhelming when you have all the teams to choose from. But I don't know how much I love this slate, going over and looking at some things, but I think we can find some pieces to work with here.
This slate stinks. I'm looking at the numbers, 37.5, 44, 41, 37.5, 40. Look, I would think, what do you think, in 250 in most weeks wins you big money on DraftKings? Are we looking at 220 this week?
Yeah, maybe even less than that.
Yeah.
I could see it coming in between 200 and 220.
All right, so let's make 250 our goal. So if we hit it, we will win. All right, let's kick it off with Minnesota at Atlanta. We have no Kirk Cousins. We have no Desmond Ridder. We got Taylor Heineke, and we've got a dude named Jared Hall from BYU. More run, passed a little bit in college, but hey, this is the pros now. Anything you like in this game? I don't even know if Drake London plays. Vikings have been a pretty good run defense. I don't know if I like Bijan. Are you on anything here?
As of right now, I don't really have much interest in it. It really sucks that Kurt went down because he was my fantasy quarterback and he was doing well. And so that was a little sad moment. But no, I don't. Bijan is he has the potential. Like I always call him the young Christian McCaffrey, but they're not utilizing him in the right way. And it's really unfortunate. So, and I don't know. Yeah, I don't know if they're going to play Heineke, and I don't know if they're going to play Ritter. I don't know what's going on there. So as of right now,
they're going to play Heineke.
They are. Okay. So yeah, I still don't think that out of all the games, I have much interest at all in this one.
All right, let's move forward. Seattle and Baltimore. So I knew last week I had Gus Edwards on FanDuel all over the place. Because it just felt like Lamar didn't need to do that much. And when he doesn't need to do much, it becomes a Gus Edwards love fest. But now they've got Seattle. Seattle always plays to its competition. And this game's a 44. It's probably like the second highest number on the slate, to be quite honest with you. Do we go here? Do we say, look, if we don't want this Dallas Eagles game, is this a game that you're looking at?
Yeah, I like this game. I actually do like Gus Edwards. I know that I say he gets at least a touchdown here. I wouldn't be surprised if he gets two.
Gus Edwards 2 here?
Yeah.
What makes you say that? Because I always feel like when they don't need to push Lamar, they give it to Gus. But this may be a game they need to push Lamar just a little bit.
So I think Seattle's defense is definitely better than it was, but I still think their run defense is a little bit gappy. So I believe, and Gus always gets the ball in the red zone area. So I think he's absolutely capable of getting two touchdowns. It doesn't seem like they're letting Lamar run as much as they used to, or they're trying to make him more of a passer, which I understand that. But yeah, I think I think he's my 2 touchdown guy this week.
Wow. All right. Going back to the well. DK Metcalf, Tyler Lockett, Mark Andrews. There's talent out there, but do you like any of these guys, or would you rather spend elsewhere?
I think the only piece right now, there's 2 guys. So I like Flowers. He does exceptionally well against a zone-heavy defense, which Seattle does run. I also kind of like this Bobo guy.
You like Jake Bobo?
Yeah.
Where do you see him? I mean, if you've got Metcalf and you have Lockett and you have JSN, you think Bobo just becomes a guy they use in exotic type packages?
Yeah, I mean, I've used him the last couple of weeks, and I'd have to look for sure here. I
We had a
believe he's
touchdown
gotten,
we had a touchdown 2 weeks ago.
yeah, 2 weeks ago, and then he had a couple points last week too. More than a couple. I think he had like 8 or 9. For his price, I think they're giving him some more looks, and honestly, I feel like he almost plays like a tight end role. They don't really utilize their tight ends that much, if that makes sense.
It does. So 2 weeks ago, he was 4 for 61 and a touchdown. Last week, he was 2 for 23. So you're saying that
Okay.
he's still in the offense. I mean, I just feel like if I have to go down here, I'm in trouble. Like if I'm going to 3,500 with Jake Bobo, I'm in trouble. You don't feel that
Yeah,
way?
I don't know. There's just something about the guy that I like. I think he has some potential.
I agree with that. He does have potential. Whenever he plays pretty well. All right, here's a game that I think I want to be in on, but I'm worried a little bit. New Orleans and Chicago. The Saints are 8.5 point favorites. They're at home. Man, it just feels like Carr, Kamara, Olave, if he can catch the ball and not hit his helmet, Shaheed. There should be some fireworks here, but are we going to get the back and forth? I don't know if we get the back and forth. And then if New Orleans is up 24-3, do they just pull it back? It becomes a Taysom Hill love fest. They hand the ball off to Jamal Williams, and now we're not getting the fantasy goodness that I want.
Yeah. So I really like Carr. He's been playing very well, and yes, I understand what you're saying. I think Chicago, after last week, I'm hoping that they're going to come back and they're going to at least make it competitive. And I think that Tyson Bagent has the ability to do so. I think the kid just needs to get it comfortable. Yeah, Kamara's expensive, but I mean his volume is just ridiculous. So
Are you
I
paying up
mean,
for him this week? Because at 8,100, he's way more than anybody else. Way more. I mean, him and Saquon are here. But let's just say they're winning the game 24-3 and he goes, I don't know, 16 points. Did I waste money with him if he's at 1,800? I'm only got 2x. Or sorry, 8,000.
yeah. God, I don't know. I really like Kamara, and I'm gonna think about this. I actually have him in the lineup that I'm gonna tell you later on. When I build my lineup, I'll tell you and I have him in there. But I did go kind of New Orleans heavy on my lineup, but um, I love Shaheed. I think he's doing a great job. I like him over Olave. Yeah, and again, hopefully either Chicago's defense can hold up or they do something, get something going on the offense.
All right, Arizona, Cleveland. Cleveland's an 8 point favorite. This is a 37.5. Clayton Tune. I don't know if he's going to be naming that tune or singing a happy tune or something like that. Are we ringing up the Browns defense here?
You know, they are rated the number 1 defense this week, and I don't know. I don't feel good about it. There's something telling me to back off of it, and I'm not sure what it is yet.
Interesting. So you think it seems too good to be true almost?
Yeah, and I feel like something's off with their defense lately. The last 2 weeks or so, they kind of look lethargic. I don't know, maybe because they're at home, they might bounce back and look like they have a little bit more energy, but they just don't look the same as they did a few weeks ago.
Do you like Amari Cooper? Do you like Elijah Moore? Do you like Jerome Ford, Kareem Hunt? Anybody here?
No, I don't think I'm going to go with anybody in this game. Really, I don't really like it. I don't like the committee backfield that they have because you really don't know who's going to get what. Ford should get it, I think, over the others, but there's 3 of them now, and it's just like I don't know who to pick. You know,
How about some of the tight ends? Maybe David Njoku, maybe Trey McBride. Any interest there?
maybe McBride. Yeah, Njoku's been pretty solid as well. Yeah, those 2 I could see getting after.
All right, Tampa Bay goes on the road to Houston. Houston was a monumental disappointment. Monumental last week.
Yeah.
Now, when people disappoint me in fantasy, not in life, but in fantasy, I go back. I go back there, Alisha. Stroud is interesting to me again. Nico Collins is interesting to me again. You can't really run very well on the Bucs, so I'm not thrilled with Singletary or Pierce. Stroud doesn't throw a ton, but I think this game could be the one that explodes a little bit. I'm not against doing a Stroud, Nico, bring it back with a Godwin or something like that. I think that might be a little under the radar. You with me or are you against me on this one?
No, I agree with you. Stroud and Lamar Jackson are two that if I pick them, they don't do well. If I don't pick them, they go nuts. And I'm going to go with both of them.
Don't pick Stroud.
Don't pick Stroud because you're going to. All right, I'll give you that one. I'll pick Lamar then. No, I agree with you. I think either Tank Dell or Nico Collins has great opportunity here against. I mean, the Tampa Bay defense is giving up at least 100 yards or more to quite a few receivers in the past couple of weeks. I do like Rashad White on the other side at his price. He's 5,700, and I think he might have a good day also.
I look at it and I say Mike Evans for 7,300. It feels pricey, and I don't know. I'm going to have to do some research. Mike Evans did go to Texas A&M, not that far from Houston. I don't know if good old Mike is from the Texas area. I will have to look into this because if he is, then I'll start liking him a little more. But I feel like 7,300 for Mike Evans is pricey. Chris Godwin, but Rashad White, like you said, 5,700 might be the perfect fit there.
Yep. Yeah, I agree.
All right, Washington and New England. Who knows what's going on with Washington? They get rid of Chase Young. They get rid of Sweat. The offense exploded last week, but now you got New England. Every game in New England is ugly. I want to get behind Mac Jones, but I can't. I don't know. I feel like there's one guy in this game I really love, but me and everybody else. I like Demario Douglas at $4,000, but I feel like the dude is just eating chalk as we speak. He's literally just like a Pac-Man eating chalk. I don't know. Do you like anything in this game?
I think that that Howell is just God, he's just so inconsistent. One week he gets like 12 points, the next week he gets close to 30. You know, it's not consistent enough for me. And I think the New England defense is going to be a lot for him to handle. Yeah, you know what? I kind of don't mind taking a Mac Jones Douglas stack.
I thought about that.
Because it's cheap. It's cheap, and you can put some other guys in there. And it's weird things like that people win milli makers on, you know?
But see, talk to me about this strategically. I thought about that. One of the first stacks I thought of this week was just go Mac and Douglas, get it on the cheap. But then, I need Mac to throw for 2 touchdowns, and I need 1 to go to Douglas for sure. Okay?
Right.
Then every other thing I pick has to hit. I can't be wrong. I mean, I know you can't be wrong anywhere, but I really can't be wrong because if my quarterback hits, somewhere else, maybe I can miss on a receiver. But if my quarterback doesn't hit, I feel like I'm done.
Not necessarily. If your quarterback does okay, I mean, when we say okay, let's hope he gets 15 points, right?
Right.
Minimum. And you pick let's say you pick AJ Brown, you pick CeeDee Lamb, and they just go off for 40 points each. Like, you're fine. So yes, all things have to align in order for that to happen, but it is a great possibility.
I mean, look, if I do 3 teams, that certainly could be one of my 3 teams with a Mac Douglas on the cheap.
Yep.
All right. The Rams in Green Bay, I think Matthew Stafford plays. I do.
Yeah.
But Green Bay is really bad at stopping the run. If I'm Sean McVay, I'm giving Darrell Henderson and Royce Freeman 40 carries between the two of them. I'm letting Matthew Stafford throw as little as possible, maybe 15 for 24 for $143, and I'm keeping him as healthy as I possibly can.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. I actually like Henderson. I'm from Milwaukee, and this Green Bay team is just embarrassing. It's bad. And they have so many great weapons. I don't know if it's LaFleur calling the plays or or if it's Jordan Love, but I can't get behind it. It's bad. And Stafford, I think the running backs against Green Bay is the only road I would go. I'm not interested in Kupp or Nakua. I think that it's too risky this week with Stafford. But yeah, definitely the running backs.
I really like Darrell Henderson a ton, and at 5,100, especially in a smaller slate, I feel like there's no way the dude's not 2x and a real good shot at 3x. And he's not going to kill me.
Yeah.
All right, a couple more here. These three are the most interesting to me. So the 4 o'clocks, I may do nothing at 1 o'clock, Alisha. I may sleep late. You know what I'm saying? And then wake up for 4 o'clock. Carolina, Indianapolis. Indianapolis plays fast. Carolina doesn't. Will Carolina play faster this week because Indianapolis will drag it out of them? Or so do we like a Bryce Young? Do we like a Thielen? Or do we say, look, Panthers can't stop anybody on the run. This is Jonathan Taylor. This is Zach Moss.
So, yeah, I mean, this game there's a couple pieces to it. So Bryce Young might be okay to go back to. I don't mind pairing him with Thielen. I also like Hubbard. I think Hubbard has definitely taken over the RB1, and because we all know that Sanders sucks, but it's now come to fruition. On the other side, Moss and Taylor, I think I actually like Moss over Taylor still. I think he's a little bit more explosive. Taylor's not quite there yet, but they are getting a pretty 50-50 balance there. And Minshew throws a lot of interceptions, but he also throws a lot of balls. And if people are catching him, he's going to get a lot of points, and he's cheap. So there's a lot of stuff going on in that game that you could work with.
Carolina has a sneakily good pass rush to me. Brian Burns, Luvu. The defense, they're not good against the run, but they come at you. So I don't know. This is a tough game for me because I think last week, I also don't know how the Colts will play on grass. I think they play faster in the dome. I don't know whether they're going to play as fast this week on the road. I don't know. I think I like Jonathan Mingo too a little bit this week, Alisha.
Yeah, it seemed like last week he was coming around a little bit. And Thielen didn't get as much as he normally does. So that's something to keep an eye on.
All right, I'll save the best game for last. So let me talk about the Giants and the Raiders. You may think I'm insane here, but I'm thinking of an Aiden O'Connell, Devontae Adams, Josh Jacobs stack. Only in that I'm getting a cheap O'Connell. They have to feed Adams because otherwise Adams is literally going to go postal worker. And Jacobs always seems to get 25 touches. So I know this seems crazy. And the Giants, it doesn't even matter if the Giants have a run back or not. It would have been Waller for me, but it doesn't matter because I just think O'Connell's only going to have eyes for Adams every time he drops back to pass. And when he doesn't, he'll hand the ball off to Jacobs. Can I win this way, or is that just criminal because this team is bad?
I'm not going to agree with you on this one, but I can see the possibility. I think that this game is going to turn out to be a defense against defense type of day. And I think either of these defenses would be safe to go with. I actually like the Raiders because the offensive line for the Giants is horrendous. And Max Crosby is just going to have a field day with him.
Oh, yeah. And Daniel Jones, my guess, will be back and he'll get run up he'll get killed.
Yes, absolutely.
Do you like Saquon? We saw what Jahmyr Gibbs did against the Raiders. Do you like Saquon this week?
I'm going to say no because I don't think he's going to have any with the offensive line and the Raiders defensive line, I don't see him having a lot of gaps or a lot of time to be able to do anything. He's just going to get swallowed up right away.
Okay. All right. I get that. I get that. All right. Let's get to the last one here. The big one. The one where everybody's brains are going to be focused on. Dallas and the Eagles. This is the big one on the whole thing. It feels like if you don't have a piece of this. So let me talk, before we talk about the game, let's talk strategy. Can you fade this game theory alone, and say, you know what? 50% of people are going to touch this game in some way. I'm not.
Well, I'm going to be the 50% that does. So, yeah, no, I mean, I like both sides of this game, and I think CeeDee Lamb and AJ Brown are my favorite receivers on the whole slate, and they're definitely going to be cores for me. So I don't think I can fade this game.
So if you don't, how do you differentiate? Because you and everybody and all my other close friends in this world are going to have CeeDee Lamb and AJ Brown.
Yeah.
So how do I differentiate my lineup if I know that I'm going with Hurts or Dak and I'm throwing those two dudes in there?
I think maybe the Baltimore-Seattle game, there might be a little action there. And Tampa Bay and Houston, I can see those being a little bit higher scoring than the others, and then just grabbing a few pieces from that Cowboys game.
So in this Cowboys game, do you want Dak or Hurts?
I'm going to go with Dak.
Okay. Do you want Pollard or Swift, or we don't need them?
I am not going to go with either of them.
We definitely want Lamb and Brown. Do we want Devonta or Cooks or any other cursory guys outside of that?
I wouldn't mind throwing Ferguson in the mix.
Okay. Goddard or no?
If I can fit him, yes, but Ferguson's cheaper and I like his upside better.
So we can do a Dak, CD, Ferguson, come back with AJ Brown.
Yep. I like it.
Okay. All right. I mean, look, there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, I think, but my guess is that's the go-to cash lineup of the week, right? Dak, CD,
Yep.
AJ Brown, cash it in.
Yep.
All right. You have a lineup for me that I can put in and tell people about?
I do. Let me pull it up here. Okay, so I've got two of them. My first one has Dak Prescott. Okay, so I've got Dak. I've got Gus Edwards.
Hold on. Okay, Gus.
I've got Ramondre Stevenson. Forgot to mention him. I actually like him.
Why do we like him so much?
Game. Because I think he's gonna have to run a lot.
Okay.
With the lack of the receivers that Mac Jones is gonna have, and he might just throw little passes off to Stevenson also.
I like him too. I agree. Okay, so we have Dak, Gus, Stevenson, Brown, Lamb.
Brown, Lamb, yep. And then we've got Douglas, of course.
All right, hold on. Let me get him. Go ahead.
I've got Ferguson as the tight end.
Okay.
I have Bobo as my flex.
You and Bobo.
Which I'll switch that. I like him. I don't know.
And then who's my deep?
I'm going to put the Cowboys in because I think they're going to do well against Philly.
So Dak, Gus, Stevenson, Brown, Lamb, Douglas, Ferguson, Bobo, and Dallas.
Yeah, it's pretty Dallas heavy.
It is Dallas heavy. What's your other one? Let me see the other one. See if I like him more.
Okay.
And then maybe I'll throw one in.
All right. So I've got Derek Carr.
Okay. Kamara.
Got Gus Edwards and Kamara. Yeah.
Gus Edwards and Kamara. Got it. Wide receivers.
Mm-hmm. Then I've got Douglas, Zay Flowers, and Shaheed.
Ooh, look at you. All right. Hold on a second. Zay. Shaheed. Okay, go ahead.
Tight end is McBride.
Okay.
Flex is CeeDee Lamb.
Like CD. Okay. And then
the Raiders
Cleveland?
defense.
Raiders.
Yep.
All right. So this one on my optimizer here has this one a little higher.
Okay. And I like that one better, honestly.
I think I do too. All right. Let me see if I can come up with one here. There is no Aiden O'Connell here. So I'm not happy about that, but I'll go a different route. I'll go Stroud. I'll go Darrell Henderson and Rashad White. I will go Nico Collins. Ooh, now it gets tricky, doesn't it? I got to get my boy DeMario in there because, it feels like the free square. And now I think this is where, all right, let me get defense. Who's my cheap defense? Let me go. I don't want to do this, but I'll go New England because that just feels right.
I think that's okay. New England. Yeah.
I do too. I think Luke Musgrave. I'm going to go at tight end. And then I got a boatload of cash to spend. And I'm going to go with Brown and CeeDee Lamb.
Ooh, I like it. There's the $1 million lineup.
So that mine is 116. Your other one was 112, and the first one was 109. So this one I do have Brown and Lamb, but I'm not like getting. I think you either have to go all in on that game or not. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yep. And it when I was putting that lineup in, it felt really Dallas heavy. And I was like, ooh, I usually don't like doing that, but who knows? You know what I mean? These guys are playing so crazy. One week they're awesome, the next week they suck. It's just like
I know. That's why they call it gambling. But here's what I'm going to do. For last week, Trevor and I gave Trevor the Dallas stack. It was the first thing I said on Wednesday, and I played it, but barely. Like this one, I'm going to write this lineup down in case it turns out to be good, and I will put it in some lineup. I'll just put it like a $25 single entry, and hopefully I actually don't change my mind 7 times before Sunday.
Yeah, don't do that. Go with your gut.
Who's your play of the week?
I'm gonna go with Gus Edwards. 2 touchdowns.
Look at you going back to the bus. I'm gonna go with Darrell Henderson because I think Green Bay can't stop anybody.
Yeah, it's true.
Sad but true. All right, that's the first look with Doc and Alisha. We hope you enjoyed, and we hope that you come back and win $1 million. All right, good luck this week. Be well and take care.
Thanks for stopping by the office. Get your fantasy prescription by subscribing to the channel and checking out drroto.com. And until the next visit, be well and take care.